I just drew, hi, it's Vera. I just drew some cards for the resurrection, the reintegration, the reverence of the divine masculine. So a coming into wholeness and balance and letting go of any kind of learnt self-neglect, learnt self-censorship. Well, my cats are arguing. Letting go of or perhaps not a letting go, but a resolution of some of the injury that has occurred over centuries. And there's a really beautiful, I think it's called Hold Your Horses. There's a beautiful video that Baraivee Balasubramaniam, the Sky Priestess, did on the divine feminine and the Notre Dame. And then I just saw a new person that just popped up on my Instagram, did one on the divine masculine and the Notre Dame. And the Sky Priestess got into like deep complexity with the divine feminine. And one thing she said was the divine feminine has never been repressed. We may have been disconnected from it or her, but she is divine. It's divine energy. It has not ever been lost or, or even damaged really on some kind of deep level. But anyway, she gets into like really complex different things about various archetypes and the ways they play out within the divine feminine and different cultural traditions, and it's awesome. And then I just saw it popped up on my Instagram that someone who I think has a pretty new YouTube channel also, I'll link to both of these. She has a channel message about the divine masculine from relating to the Notre Dame, which I'm going to read after this because I was already planning, watch after this because I was already planning to do this for myself here. I want to say also with the divine masculine, this is present in all of us. So this is something that applies to all of us. And that divinity, which has never been broken, right? It's all part of the language and eminence and radiation of love that is what we are all made of. But this is about, again, as all my videos have been, particularly since the eclipses in January are like deepened, just deepening, and not always being easy either. There's a lot of fear and other things to kind of, resolve, deal with, attend to as we go through these things, these months, these lives. Anyway, but it's all about bringing, heaven to earth and embodying it on earth. So this also applies to any, yourself as you embody your more masculine tagged qualities and even discover them. And then also any male, any figures in your lives who perceive themselves as male, and, inhabit themselves, understand themselves, define themselves as male, or the qualities. Okay. I don't want to get into a big trying to explain everything, but just that there's a gentleness here at Easter, okay? And there's something here about Taurus season beginning and really the feminine or the feminine qualities, which have great strength. Otherwise, we wouldn't have survived patriarchy. Holding this space, and being really solid in their understanding in how much room they take up in the world, you know, their place, their creations, their surroundings, their, what they attend to, you know, their works and days. Okay. And just being super solid in that. Not that you have to pretend that you're okay if you're not okay, but just to really crown yourself and enjoy your little bird companions and stand, you know, and know yourself in your body and in your surroundings and in your abilities and in your stewardships and in your joy, you know, as you care for yourself and your surroundings and create this space, you know, for life to thrive. Okay. So this is Easter, and this is also Easter. So perhaps the masculine is wanting to offer something and has, you know, has this sweetness, you know, that is a masculine sweetness, but might be hard to recognize because of how our culture has defined masculinity. There's a full rainbow behind, you know, and then we have this receiving rainbow, an offering of the Ace of Cups, right? We, okay, let me start with what I had planned. So these are Easter. This is toward Beltane. And this is Beltane. You know, give or take, and we've got a lot of astrological things going around, but I like to use some of the more prosaic, I don't know, prosaic's not the right word, but sort of man-made perhaps, you know, the holidays, that some of the holidays that I might have been somewhat kind of shying away from at certain points, that those calendars, well, not so much the pagan one, but those calendars that have been kind of superimposed. But it's a lot about not fearing anything to do with the 3D, because we don't have to. What's happening is we are just absolutely glowing and illuminating every structure we've built. So it's not that everything has to be destroyed and rebuilt from scratch. There's a new sensibility, there's a new accumulation and integration and bursting forth of understanding. Okay, so there's a lot of memory work and really allowing oneself to feel into the joy that has been experienced and has led the way and has been a way shower. Okay, even when it's been neglected, it's been somewhere always, you know, flowing within us, even when it's been neglected or neglected. And then there's also a letting down of conflict, which doesn't mean that you're not standing in your own innocence and grace and power and ability, but you don't have to assert yourself in a way that involves conflict. Okay. And then we move toward Beltane. The Ace of Swords upside down is a clarity that comes more easily and with less heartbreak than we may have known clarity to come before, and then an opening and an overpouring of love. And so what the clarifier cards popped out of our tarot deck. What has been learned from the heartbreak and heartache of not being connected to that joy that is your birthright? And then what will it feel like to actually inhabit this on earth?